Leadership from the Inside Out is a series of learning modules designed to reinforce leadership and coaching skills that create a culture that people want to be a part of and a workplace where people enjoy coming to work. With our first lesson entitled Creating the Culture, here's Denny Smith.
Did you know good free throw shooters don't have to practice anymore? Imagine yourself being a basketball coach, and at the end of practice, one of the players comes up and says, "You know, coach, I'm one of the best free throw shooters on the team. I don't have to practice anymore. Think I'm going to hit the showers early tonight. Is that okay?" Well, of course that's not okay. You know, and I know, if you don't continually practice skills, you lose them. So it is with your people skills, your leadership skills, your emotional intelligence. If you don't continually hone them, they're going to backslide. The Carnegie Institute did a study on success that lasted 5 years at a cost of $1 million. And they determined that 85% of your success hinges on your attitudes and your ability to deal with people. Now, I don't know how you measure that, whether that should be 85, 15, 60, 40, but I think most of us would agree that the way you deal with people has a lot to do with your success. And so it is with any organization. The way an organization treats people, its customers, its employees, has a lot to do with their success. If somebody were to ask me to sum up everything I talk about in one sentence, it would be this: that you make a difference. You make a difference in the workplace. You make a difference in the community. In fact, you make a difference in the world. And maybe that concept is best summed up with this little poem. The task: to build a better world. But I said, how? The world is such a big place. It's so complicated now. And I so small and helpless, there's nothing I can do. But God in all his wisdom said, just build a better you. You know, that's exciting when I think about the fact that all I have to do to make the world a better place to live is to build a better me. And all you have to do to make the world a better place to live is to spend a little bit of time every day making you a better you. The world strives for love and joy and peace and productivity, all of those good things, one person at a time. So that makes you pretty important in the scheme of things. And it makes you especially important because of the fact that you are a leader and you affect the lives of the people around you. Now, being a leader doesn't make you any better than anybody else, but it does give you more responsibility. So how many of you would like to motivate others? Nothing wrong with that. I like to think I can motivate the folks myself. But for those of you who want to be motivators, I have bad news and good news. The bad news is this: you cannot motivate other people. Motivation is a door with a handle on the inside. The good news is you can, however, create a climate in which people will become self-motivated, and that's your challenge. Hayam Ganat wrote the book Between Teacher and Child, and he said this: I have come to a frightening conclusion. I am the decisive element in the classroom. My daily mood creates the climate. My personal approach makes the weather. As a teacher, I possess a tremendous power to make a child's life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or humor, hurt or heal. And in all situations, it's my response that dictates whether a crisis will be escalated or de-escalated, and a child humanized or dehumanized. And I might say, well, what does it have to do with me? I'm not a teacher. Well, as the leader, supervisor, manager, you are the decisive element. And your daily mood does create the climate. Your personal approach does make the weather. And when you're dealing with a problem, the way you handle that problem will dictate whether that problem will be escalated or de-escalated, and the person you're working with motivated or demotivated. So to bring this idea full circle, Warren Bennis, a leadership development coach, says this: becoming a leader is synonymous with becoming yourself. It is precisely that easy and exactly that difficult. This program is anchored in 3 principles. Principle number 1 is that an organization's culture works from the top down. Culture encompasses the personality of an organization. And you see some organizations who have this indescribable pulse. People are excited, they're motivated, they're positive, and you can just feel it, you can sense it. It's there. And if it's there, it didn't just happen. It started at the top and permeated throughout the entire organization. It was intentional. Jeff Gow, who is the CEO of Marco Incorporated in St. Cloud, Minnesota, said that we have been intentional about creating a culture that people want to be a part of and a workplace where people enjoy coming to work. So let's define culture. And you can go to the internet and get 100 different definitions of culture, but I like this one because it's short, precise, and to the point. Organizational culture is comprised of beliefs and behaviors that determine how an organization's employees and management interact. Let me repeat that. The beliefs and behaviors that determine how an organization's employees and management interact. Let me emphasize again, culture doesn't just happen. It takes commitment, leadership, and training. And so much of the training has to do with the coaching skills of the leadership team. Coaching skills are what take the words from the mission statement on a wall and make it a reality. It's what takes the theory of the conference room and puts it into practice. Training gets things started. Coaching gets things done. Principle number 2 is that leadership starts from the inside out. And consider this thought. The kind of blank you become is determined by the kind of person that you become. Fill in a blank with anything you want. The kind of leader you become is determined by the kind of person you become. The kind of committee member you become is determined by the kind of person you become. For those of you who are parents, the kind of parent you become is determined by the kind of person you become. In fact, that's where I stole the idea. I was reading an article by a parent trainer, and he said after the seminars, people would come up to him and say, "I wonder what kind of a parent I am." He said, "Don't ask yourself that. Ask yourself this. What kind of a person are you when you're dealing with your kids?" So if you want to be a patient leader, then become a patient person. If you want to handle problems in a poised and confident manner, then become a poised and confident person. Sir Edmund Hillary said, "It's not the mountain you conquer, but yourself." And that is going to be the cornerstone of everything we're talking about in this program. Principle number 3 is everyone has to catch the measles. And I have to give credit to Jeff Gow for this. He's the CEO of Marco Incorporated that I mentioned earlier. About 25 years ago, he was one of the upstart managers for the company, and he was talking about their training program to build a culture. And he said, first of all, people at the top have to catch the measles. We have to be excited about the culture that we're creating. So then all of our supervisors and managers have to catch the measles. And then every employee has got to catch the measles. So what it simply means is this. Everyone in the organization has to get excited about the opportunity to create this exciting, vibrant culture that treats people well and an atmosphere where people enjoy coming to work. And let me repeat, it takes 3 things: commitment, leadership, and training. So I'd like to have you do this. Go to Project 1.1, pick a group leader. Group leader, read the instructions, make sure everybody gets involved in the conversation, and when we're done with that, we'll come back to the video and wrap it up.